Evening all, welcome to Space Engineers. Now this is going to get fun now. Now the way that the guns work currently in the game, hopefully you've seen the last episode, otherwise you have no idea what I'm on about. But in the last episode we obviously built our turret system on top of our ship. We're now ready to try and basically do a live fire exercise. Now there are currently no mechanics in the game that enable you to say kill that. What you have to do, and this is what we've done here with this mining hauler passing through our system, is we have to kind of get close to it and drop decoy blocks on it. So what that means is the guns will then sense the decoy is in range and then they'll start firing at it. This is only just to test it. Let's see, look at that. The that's pretty cool. So even its own guns fire. That's pretty awesome. I did like that. So what we're going to, again, I'm not sure how we're going to fix that. We'll probably have to switch them off. But as we kind of board the ship, what we're going to do inside here, we're going to rig it up with decoy modules, and we're going to surround them by warheads as well. So eventually, once the Gatling guns get through, they will just then trigger an explosion and then destroy the ship. I know it's a bit kind of formulaic, but oh my god, it's fun. And this is just becoming such a fun. It's really nice to not be taking a little mining sledge or a little reaver craft to one of these ships. Now I've got a flagship that actually has teeth. I can actually fly my main ship to these things. And when you see the damage that these Gatling guns do, oh my god, it's fun. Anyway, what we've done here is we've commandeered this, and we're going to fly it very close to our flagship, and then we're going to set it up with all of the things within it, so the decoy blocks and the warheads, and then we're going to fly our flagship within range and watch what happens, and that is the premise. It's really nice. I mean, I've got to admit, this is one of the nicer things of the game, is that it gives you this ability to do this without too much severity. So eventually the faction system, I think, will come in, and I think that's going to cause a few issues because I'm not too sure how or where or what or when it's going to work in general, because are you going to have NPC fighters that come attack you? Probably, because I think what they're doing is they're giving you the ability to defend yourself before they then introduce something that will come attack you. Currently, the only thing that's really going to do you damage is asteroids, or meteorites rather, and meteorites are killed and auto-tracked by the Gatling guns, so that's obviously a very nice feature. I think, to be honest, the game is going to be just incredible. It's going to be exceptional when that whole piece comes in. So all of a sudden, right, you can join a faction, you can then obviously explore space, there's like things to find in space, you'll then, these kind of vessels that pass through the system, some of them might be friendly, some of them might be neutral, some of them might be hostile. So you could take on a mining escort. That'd be pretty sweet, wouldn't it? But then again, how is it going to work? What will the turrets lock onto? Will they lock onto all the ship's systems? Will you have the ability to say, shoot the engines, in fact, that'd be nice, shoot the engines, shoot the weapons, disarm it? It could be like that. That would just make this game exceptional. So you have maybe in the captain's chair, you have the ability to say what things are these Gatling guns going to fire at, and you could set half your guns to shoot the engines, half the guns to shoot their weapons, and then you could obviously have a fight, tussle in space, and then effectively once you've disarmed it and de-engined it, you could then fly close to it, clamp onto it, and board it. Oh my god, that's going to be fun. I cannot wait. And I hope they have NPCs. I know they've got internal turrets now in these ships, so you do have to watch out for them. I don't know if they're active yet, but they are going to be soon, I would imagine. And then this is going to become very, very interesting indeed. I mean, just amazingly interesting. So I think the next step for the game, though, is to maybe set up servers. I think that's probably the missing bit at the moment. I think that is needed. So the ability just to load a server and have that server constantly on. I think that's kind of the next thing I'd be interested to see. But it's just so good. It is so good. So there we go. We've loaded our dummy block, or a decoy block, and then we're going to put warheads to the either side of it. So basically, the guns will lock onto that, and what they will then do, and again, I am using creative. I'm sorry, I ain't got time, bro. But what these guns will then do is lock onto that decoy block and start shooting it. And what effectively it means is once they penetrate the hull, they will then likely hit one of these warheads, and then this ship is doomed. Now, I'm really excited to see how this is going to work. I would like to think that you also would have the ability to shoot reactors. And I think reactors should explode, significantly explode once they're hit and they then breach. I think reactors should just do a huge nuclear explosion that destroys quite a bit of area, because I've always liked the idea of the ability to kind of have a space battle, and then actually, if you know you're going to lose, fly your ship close to our flagship, and then set your reactor to overload, and then destroy major chunks and bits of my ship. I'd love that. I'd love it if the explosion just took out the whole, the whole of the hull on one side. I mean, that would be incredible. It would just imagine fixing that. Oh, it'd be so good. Now, here we go. So this is now a setup and ready to go. So we have our turrets on top. And as I look at this, I realize I haven't done my side turret. So we'll show you that next time. This is just what we had done so far. But seriously, it gets even better than this. This was just live fire exercise number 1. And finally, we're using the flagship properly. It's so glorious to see this. I am just so excited. Now, unfortunately, there is a bit of a problem here. And you'll probably see bits of the front of the hangar explode any moment now, because the ships just do not seem to latch on to this ship properly. So I'm kind of done with fighters for a while. I think I'm going to build a little station somewhere, park all the fighters there, and then this is now my main ship. So I'm going to put docking clamps on this, and we're going to use this to actually take on haulers. But here we go. So the turrets, oh, look at that, look at that. They sense the block and they start firing. Daka, 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 daka. Now, think of the Matrix. Is it Matrix Reloaded or Revolutions? I forget. But that bit in the dock with Captain Mafuni. Just think of it. Oh my God, isn't it epic? I love it. Now, this is only the Gatling guns. The missiles don't work yet. But look at that. So one of my guns has run out of ammo already, as you can see. So that's obviously one that I need to go and fix. Oh no, there we go. So the mechanism worked. It actually reloaded it normally. That's just epic. So I'm really, really enjoying this. Now look at that. It does take a fair bit of damage. So this was live fire exercise number 1. And the only conclusion I drew from this was more turrets. More turrets are needed to make this work. And you'll see why, because it's hitting the hull. And it's doing quite a bit of damage to it, but it's just not penetrating it. And this is where I think missiles will obviously be quite important, because missiles will punch through a ship, whereas the Gatling gun will, I guess, do the damage to it. Now, post in the comments if I've got this wrong. I mean, again, I don't see any way to make the missile turrets work yet. Maybe it's just because they don't auto-lock. Maybe I've missed something. Just post in the comments and tell me what I've missed, because, oh my God, this is fun. And as you can see, it's just a stream of fire over, what, 335 meters, and eventually it just goes through it. I love it so much. It's just, oh my God. I've been waiting so long for this, and I think it's just so satisfying to see this ship finally having teeth. And as you can see, it's actually penetrating the hull. It's actually punching through. Boom! There we go. And it just took out the whole of the mining vessel's interior in one shot. Love it. Well, not one shot, probably about 20,000 shots. So this is it. This is the next generation of this game. You're going to have, big ship combat, and it's going to be incredibly interesting to see how this works. Imagine zipping fighters fighting around me and the Gatling guns tracking them and shooting them. Oh my God, it's going to be good. And as you can see, the warheads have done their job. It's completely shredded the ship. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Imagine we'd just vanquished this guy, and we could now go and latch on, and we could go loot. We could go take all that he has and kill anybody remaining, take their women, take their cattle, and just make it just such a huge thing. And look at that. It actually did take most of our ammo to kill it. So obviously we need to get a lot more ammo. Join us next time as we make even more turrets. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you next time.